Hey guys, it is Friday and I wanted to do another theory lesson with you. This is Sarah Crow and I want to talk today about flats, sharps, key signatures, and a few other things that are related. I'm going to try to keep it narrow in focus because I can very quickly get really complicated with this, and that's not my goal. So I just want to talk today about flats and sharps. We're going to start with the flats and sharps definitions and what they are. Okay, here I have, this is the flat symbol. Okay, it looks like kind of a weird little B. Okay, a flat lowers a note by 1/2 step. Okay, now as we've talked about in earlier videos, we've talked about half steps. So if we go down to the keyboard, a flat takes a note. Let's say we'll start on B right here. Normally we have a B. If we have a B flat, we go down 1/2 step, and that's B flat. Okay, and that can be anywhere. Okay, here's an F. If we do an F flat, it would go down or to the left 1/2 step. So that is a flat. This is a sharp. Looks like a hashtag or the pound sign, but in music this is called a sharp, and a sharp raises a note by 1/2 step. So if we go back down to the piano, okay, here's your sharp. We're going to hit F. We go up 1/2 step, which is the very next consecutive note. This is F sharp. Okay, C, C sharp. Okay, so you see how that works? So a flat lowers a note by a 1/2 step. A sharp raises a note by a 1/2 step. Down here, we also have the natural sign. A natural cancels out a flat or a sharp. So if it was written in the music, you would normally see this written in the music when there is already either a flat or sharp in the key signature, or you have an accidental written in that's not normally in the key signature but is in there. A few other things about the notation of the music is that when you have an accidental, say that the key signature, which I'm starting to get already out of depth here. I'm going to move this and we're going to go to actual piece of music. Okay, so here's just a bit of piece of music here. This right here at the very beginning of the piece and on each line in that key, this is called the key signature. All right, if we look at the staff, we have 3, 1, 2, 3 flats. Okay, so this key signature is the key signature of E flat. So by default, it's telling me that because of where this is in the scale, that all my B's are going to be flatted, lowered a 1/2 step. All my E's are going to be flatted, and all of my A's are going to be flatted throughout the entire piece, unless there is what we call an accidental. Okay, here's an example of an accidental. This right here is a C flat in the middle of this. Now, C flat is not included in the key signature, so we call that an accidental. It is not in the piece for a long period of time. It's only there just briefly. Typically in music, whenever you have an accidental in a measure, okay, measure being from this bar line to this bar line, all right, a measure is from one bar line to the very next one. Any accidentals that come in written like this are canceled as soon as you hit the next bar line. So I would play the C flat here, but I wouldn't play it in the next measure over here, okay, because it's not in the key signature and it hasn't been repeated as an accidental. So the C flat is only good until we get to here. Okay, and that goes for sharps as well, anytime you have an accidental. But if I'm in the same measure, I'm going to go over to this piece right here. Okay, we're in the key of E major. And here we have an A sharp, which is not in the key signature. This is F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. So A sharp is not part of the key signature. It's an accidental. But it gets canceled out by a natural before the bar line. Okay, so a natural is usually used to cancel out something that is within the measure. So obviously, once you get past the bar line, it cancels itself out. But if you want to cancel it before you get to the bar line, that's when we use a natural. A natural can also be used to cancel a flat or sharp that is in the existing key signature, which I do not think I have an example of that at this point. Anyway, but you get the idea. So that is how the flats and sharps work within a piece. I also wanted to look at the double flat and the double sharp. And this is something that we don't see as often, but it does appear. So here in this measure right here, we have a double flat. It's just like two flats right next to one another in front of this note. Here's another one up here. Okay, and a lot of people see that and they think, oh my goodness, what is that? I don't even know what that is. Okay, what it does, we know that a flat lowers a note 1/2 step. So a double flat would lower it 2/2 steps or 1 whole step. Okay, so if we look at the piano, okay, so that's a B double flat, which in this key signature, B is already flatted. All right, so the B's are already flat, but they want to lower it another 1/2 step, so they put the B double flat. Because if they put the B flat, there would be some confusion as to, well, wait, it's already flatted. Why are they putting that flat? Putting that double flat in lets them know, okay, the B has to be lowered 2/2 steps. So normally this would be my B flat, or my B, this is B flat, which is in the key signature, but that B double flat lowers it again to an A. Okay, so instead of B flat, B double flat. Now, a lot of people are like, well, why don't they just write it as an A? Theoretically, you cannot do that. It is a technical way of precision that is used to stay within the framework of the key signature, because the A would also be flat and you would have to raise the A, and that breaks up, without getting into too many details, it breaks up the theoretical chord structure. So B double flats are necessary at times. All right. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was the double sharp. Okay, just as the double flat lowers a note by 2/2 steps, the double sharp, which you can see right here, this X. See that little X in front of the F? Okay, if we look at the key signature, the F is already sharped, but they want to raise it, so they make it an F double sharp. Just as, okay, in the key signature, we would already have, here's your F, here's F sharp, which is in the key signature. They want to raise that again, and so they make it a double sharp. Going from F, F sharp, F double sharp raises it a whole step for the same reasons. Okay, this is all theory bound. You can't just throw a G in there because they've already got a G, which is actually sharped in the key signature. So in order to get, okay, so that would be my F double sharp, G sharp, C sharp, E. Okay, so in order to do that correctly without too much confusion, you put the double sharp in there. So that is my theory lesson for today. Double flats, lowered 2 steps. double sharps, raised, and then what is the difference? So if you have any questions, please feel free to comment, and thanks for hopping in.